Online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop to look around once in a while. You could miss it.
Uncertain time. How could one sleepy Northwest college?
The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
The outdoor aspect.
How much of the Grand Canyon sits in Utah?
I don't even think there's any of it, really, is there?
Didn't you just say Grand Canyon?
Yeah, it's real close.
But
Oh.
Arizona is literally 10 minutes away. I can get to the Arizona border 10 minutes from
And
there. So
you can get to, is it the North Rim?
yeah, the North Rim. Yeah,
It's
this
real
would be the North
close.
Rim. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are in a prime area.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were that close to Vegas, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Lake
Well,
Powell.
one trip. So when you come visit, we'll just talk about the Vegas.
Yeah, there you go, man.
I was gonna say, I know Lindsay goes there every once in a while, so it couldn't have been that far.
No, it isn't very far at all, man. We'll all just go, man. I mean,
We'll see you in Vegas. We'll have a good time. We'll show you all the good spots.
I'll meet you there. How's that?
yeah.
Okay, there we go. One of these days, it might actually happen. Who knows?
That would be
I probably
awesome.
should do another quick station ID, and I'm only going to hang on to you guys maybe another 10 minutes or so at that.
But hey,
There again, thank you
dude,
again
I
so
really-
much. What's that?
I really have to take a break and go take a piss, bro.
Okay, so we will be right back after these messages.
All right.
Go do your thing. I'll talk to Lindsay for a minute. Oh my gosh, how funny. Thank you for orchestrating this. I'm really glad that you reached out earlier.
You're welcome.
Cool.
Welcome. I'm glad we're doing it.
Well, and it had kind of been on my mind here recently to bring you into it, and I thought, I'm so hands off with him and don't push him at all because, I respect him and the life that you guys have and all that. And when I put that request out to him, God, whatever year that was, years ago, I had no idea he was going to pick me up. I had only seen the documentary, found him online. I'm like, I'm just going to give it a chance.
Yeah.
And he did, and it was, slowly. And just, it's like, wow, totally a blessing to get that kind of connection with somebody completely out of the blue.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that I'm able to kind of watch your guys' lives go on the way that it is, this is real special stuff for me. So I just want you to know that.
Well, thank you. We love it. It's been fun.
I'll bet. So, okay. Coming out of the talk we were talking about a little bit ago with the family, you and Sam met where?
At a kegger.
Okay.
It's funny because he always rolls his eyes when I tell this story, but it's my favorite story. I'm like, it's not the cute romantic love stories you see in the chick flicks. I met him at a kegger. He was gonna be my one night stand. I was gonna have a crazy summer and be wild and spontaneous. We're 13 years together now, so my one night stand didn't work. Apparently, I don't know how those work. So.
And there are movies and manuals out there. There's an app for that. I'll just say. Oh my gosh.
No, I was with a friend down here for the summer, and she's like, you got to meet this guy. We're in the car hanging out. He pulled up. Sam got out of the car with him, and I just went, who is that? And she's like, I don't know, that's his friend. And I'm like, he is gorgeous. And he walked up to the car and was like, hi, you can sit by me. I don't bite. And he just looked at me and was like, no, thanks. And I went, oh. Okay. And I didn't know at the time because I didn't know him. When he drinks, he's very social. He's very talkative. He just goes and he can't sit still. And I had been trying all night to talk to him, to sit down with him, to get to know him, to try and sneak that one night stand in. And he couldn't focus. And it wasn't until I went and sat on the hood of my friend's car. It was like, this night blows. I'm over it. here comes this stumbling drunk towards me. And he's like, can I sit by you? I'm all, yes. That's fine. And then when we got talking, he's like, do you want to go cuddle in the back of my friend's car? I'm like, this is finally happening. Yes. He passed out.
Oh, you're kidding.
And I was like, what is happening? It shouldn't be this hard.
And he got a second date. Well,
yeah,
actually, a first date.
Yeah, we went back to his house later that morning, and it was like 3, 4 a.m. We went to his house. He tucked me into his bed, kissed me on the forehead, laid on top of the covers, and he goes, good night, and passed out. And I was like,
I'm leaving. Can't even talk to my mom or any of my brothers and sisters. To them, it would have been better for me to die than to leave. I'm Sam Zitting. I'm from Colorado City, Arizona. I have 10 brothers and sisters. I'm the oldest one. And I left the creek for the reasons that I wanted to be something. I wanted to think for myself, wanted to become somebody, instead of just living by a code my whole life. In a way, you escape, but in another way, you're leaving everything behind. It's a tough decision.
I'm in your bed. This is really happening. Who is this guy? Next morning, he came up with chopped up pineapple, a cup of coffee. He's like, I don't know what you eat, but here. So we buy each other a pineapple every year for our anniversary as a joke.
That's cool. That's cool.
But he did. He's like, so I'm not looking for a girlfriend right now. I was like, I don't want a boyfriend. And he goes, okay, do you want to go to a party with me tonight? I was like, yeah, that'd be fun. That night, he asked me out. And when he did, he goes, I'll ask you again in the morning when we're both sober. Like,
romance all over this thing.
Yeah, that's just how messy our relationship was. It was, no, I don't want you. I don't want you either. Hey, so we should be a couple. Let's do this.
Oh my gosh, that's and 13 years later.
13 years later and 9 years married. He waited 4 years because I told you the first time he asked me, I told him no. And then when he asked, I was like, if you can wait until I'm 21, I'll marry you. Because I didn't think he'd be around for 4 years.
Well, at that rate, yeah.
Yeah. And no, he did. He waited. My birthday's December 15th. I had my birthday, Christmas, New Year's Eve. He took me out and asked me to marry him. And he goes, it was beautiful because he took me out to the creek where he's from. And he was showing me all these spots and memories and telling me stuff. And I thought we were out there to get his brother. And he's like, hey, I got a question. And I thought it was about the New Year's Eve party. I'm like, yeah, what's up? And I turn around and he's got the ring. And he goes, I'm asking you out here because all my best memories were created out here. And I wanted to create one with you. And he goes, and because if you run, I can find you. I know this place better than you do. He's like, you can't say no this time either because you're 21. And I went, yeah, you're right. You got me.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Yep. Oh my gosh. You know, you said a minute ago, Lindsay, though, and I think that you're kind of off on this, is that it wasn't like a typical girl romance story. It was even better. I mean, seriously, like so unorthodox and so like out of the norm that those are the ones that like really stand out. You know, It's like, so first of all, congratulations, guys. Anniversary was when again?
June 20th.
I was going to say not all that long ago, I thought. Okay, June 20th.
So it's always on Father's Day.
Awesome. And chocolate or coffee and pineapple.
Yeah.
Coffee and pineapple. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, like, that's probably not, I don't know. I bet some people might have a problem with that in their stomachs, but honestly, it was delicious.
It was so great after a hangover.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a little on the acidic side probably, but that, you know, that's all right. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to hit a couple of quick questions, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut you guys loose, which I should try and hold on to you a little bit longer. Sam, you are one hard man to nail down, my friend. But
yeah, that's what all the girls say.
Yeah, well, I'm not in that same genre, but that's okay.
It's just joking,
Close,
brother.
borderline, but not quite there, and I'm not
Yeah,
getting
no,
any
I
further.
appreciate it though. Yeah, no, the thing about it is though, is I'm kind of a dick. I should have answered some of your messages, but I get into that daily grind in the heat, and all I can think is, dude, is like, and she usually works right when I get home from work, so I gotta feed the kids, get them to bed.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. And then life on
Yeah.
top of it. But like I was telling Lindsay,
To get you locked in.
She is amazing. She helps me a lot stay focused and remember the people that matter, and keeps me here.
Human.
Yeah, yeah.
awesome.
Well,
Yeah, I think you kind of need that a little bit.
I do. I get lost in the fray.
By the way, it hasn't happened yet, but I've communicated with him like twice now. Nathaniel Barlow.
Oh, yeah.
He posted. Yeah, he wants to share some of his story,
That's awesome.
and I'm so totally stoked. He posted something about it here not that long ago, and I messaged him. I'm like, I just want to bounce this off you, because he sounded like totally like, hey, if you want to hear about it, I'm totally open. Yeah, I don't know. He gave it a couple of days thought or whatever, and he's like, yeah, I'm totally down.
That's so good, man.
Yeah,
That's so
see,
good, man. Good for you, man. That makes me happy. The more people that
Cuts opening up on his face and eyes becoming bruised.
talk about their experience there, the better, I think.
and that's what I wanted to really like tell you, whether it be your brothers, sisters, friends, whatever, any of the family, let them know my door is totally open to them, because every single one of you have got a different story.
Yeah, no, I know it.
And it's not, but we don't really focus on your past, and I've tried not to do that. You and I usually do it like on the here and now and the future.
Yeah, I appreciate that a ton too, man. It's that, and you hit the nail right on the head with everybody has different experience. That's the beautiful thing about life, is man, it's perspective. Two different people can go through the exact same experience and come out with two different lessons, two different outlooks, two different attitudes. It is
Amazing?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Speaking of which, how many are still left at home? I mean, because there's more and more of the brothers and sisters that are.
There's 12 of us total. I think there's 5 of us out.
So there's only 5 out now.
Yeah. So I think there's 7 out there.
So, wow. Okay. Do you think they'll all eventually go, or do you think some of them will end up staying?
I think some of them are going to stay, at least until Dad decides, if he does decide. I mean, just like last month, he invited us out, and we all went and met him at a park and had watermelon, said hi.
Nice.
Yeah, he had messaged me, and I just messaged back and said, yeah, I grabbed some water balloons, and he brought water balloons. We got to throw water balloons at each other and have some fun. So
I'll have to send you the picture. It's pretty neat.
Pretty fun, man.
Please do. That does my heart so well whenever I hear about like any of the get-togethers or whatever with the family, because I remember going back to the documentary, there were looks in your eye that the camera would catch, that there was still such a large part of you on the other side of those walls.
Oh yeah, man. Oh, yeah, it still feels. Sometimes it feels sometimes it does feel worse seeing them for a minute, just because. Well, especially at first, because it felt like it's like having someone almost dead in your life, but they're still alive. That meant a lot to you in your life. So it's like you still, I don't know. So it's like tearing off the Band-Aid or reopening the wound. But lately, as it's happened more and more, I've just slowly accepted that, hey, when it does happen, it's
Joy.
yeah, just take it for what it is, and live in the moment. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's one of the reasons why you're as grounded and centered as you are, because you've come to the realization in your life that you can't really do much about it otherwise. It's going to happen. And if you're going to come out of this as unscathed as possible and as upbeat and as positive about it as you can be, you're going about it the right way.
Well, thanks, man. Yeah. I feel that, man. I feel it. Yeah, you got to just realize control is an illusion. Yeah. Yeah, you're just here for the experience, I think, or I am. So.
Well, I'm here for other things, but all I ever get is an experience. Signed up for all these programs I don't remember being signed up for, but okay. So let's do this, and then we are done, son. I want to get some answers from both of you separately, unless your experience was together. The podcast that we do, Hook, Line, and Thinker, that I've tried to push Sam into a couple of times and haven't been able to yet. I want to know.
I'll make it a point.
Hey, that's okay. That's all right. I need to know. Actually, I'll start with Lindsay. Lindsay, have you ever looked up at the sky and seen anything that you can't explain, aerial phenomenon-wise?
Oh, yeah.
Really? Do you mind sharing it with us? More than once, or?
Yeah. Once was actually for Valentine's. Sam took me out in his old beat-up truck out to the creek. They call it the Indian bathtubs. Made a bed in the back of the truck, and we're laying there looking up at the stars because there's supposed to be a bunch of like crazy shooting stars that night. And I don't know, there was just, do you remember? It was like a weird shower of stars. I don't know how to explain it. Like, they were like there, and then they went into like a hole, but then came out the other side almost. I don't know.
Really?
It was crazy to me because normally you watch a shooting star, it goes completely across
From
the
one
sky.
end to the other.
Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone.